I'm Daniel from Instrument Mastery and welcome to this new video. Do you have trouble finding enough time for practicing? You're not alone. So today I'm going to cover a few tips for how I manage my time and how I are able to achieve so much within the time I have available. I will also present you for very interesting theory about this, so keep on watching. We all have one thing in common. We all have only 24 hours in a day. No matter if you're an average person, a doctor, Elon Musk, or the founder of one of the biggest companies in the world, how is it that some people have more than enough with a daytime job and others, like Elon Musk, are founding and leading several big companies simultaneously? I will clarify some rules of time, talk about how I find the time, and what you can do as well. First of all, I will quote Parkinson, creating the Parkinson Law. Work expand so as to fill the time available for its completion. So, if you give yourself a lot of time to complete something, you will also use a lot of time to complete it. Have you ever had a tight deadline? You worked pretty fast, didn't you? But you made it in time, right? If you set an absolute deadline, you are more likely to work efficiently. The point is that if you never set the time limits, you will feel how time flies by without achieving anything. I have an interesting theory based on this. No matter how much or how little you do throughout the day, you will always use up all 24 hours. Therefore, you will always feel like you couldn't have filled your time with anything else. A real life example from my life is this. I had a full-time job and I had to make dinner, I had to sleep and clean the house, work out, etc. But it's just, I can't even remember what I used time for, just that I felt I didn't have time for any time-consuming things in my life, except for all this common normal thing everyone does. Then I started a mobile phone workshop that got very popular, still having my full-time job. I thought for myself, that now my time is filled. Then I got a girlfriend, which I had to prioritize time with. So now my time was filled, right? I thought so, but now I started to build my own house, doing most of the work myself, still having my full-time job, still having my workshop and my girlfriend, plus being a leader for a club for youth and other work I did for my church. And I only used half of my vacation day I had the right for at my daytime job. So this story supports my theory that we will always believe our time is filled because we have used all 24 hours. The problem is that we dabble a lot, like a lot. This may be watching television or scrolling way too far down the Facebook news feed instead of taking the dishes. This is what's called procrastination. Maybe you're using a lot of time at the toilet because you're surfing at your phone or reading magazines. Maybe you're just chatting or reading newsletters at the couch. Or doing tasks very slowly because you don't want to do it. You can do a bunch of other unnecessary things just as an excuse for not doing a task you don't like. Maybe you're using a lot of time at the grocery store, or are shopping every day instead of once a week. This recommendation is very important. Measure your time, because what gets measured gets improved. If you focus more on being efficient, you will feel better. If you stop procrastinating and just do stuff, you will feel better. Generally, less dabbling and better time management will make you feel better. Feeling you waste your time is a terrible feeling. Like I said, what gets measured gets improved. Write down everything you do. I mean everything you do throughout the day, and how much time you use for it. For example, you wake up in the morning, you shower for 15 minutes, you have breakfast 20 minutes, getting ready 15 minutes, driving to work 30 minutes, you're at work for 8 hours, 30 minutes driving home, 30 minutes at the grocery store, you're getting home, do you speak with your spouse and dabbling around, surfing Facebook, go on, etc. for 20 minutes, then you're at the toilet for 15 minutes, you make dinner 30 minutes, you eat dinner maybe 30 minutes, maybe watch something when you eat, so it's 1 hour, then you're using 2.5 hours for watching television. Write all these things down, every single thing you do, even the smallest task you do, write them down. You may think that you know all this, you know what you're using your time for and how much time you use for each task, but you probably not know, you cannot know, no one knows exactly how much time you use for everything, and it's a lot of things you might forget as well. So it's important to write all these things down. So now you'll see exactly what you do and how much time you use. Do this every day for a whole week. You will now get an idea of how much time you waste doing non-productive things. Now you can work on how you can decrease the time spent on doing things that gives you nothing in your life and increase valuable things. It's all about prioritization. Do you want to prioritize Facebook or instrument practicing? What brings you the most value in your life? Do you remember when you first started practicing your instrument? Was it difficult to find the time? Most likely not, because you were passionate about it and you made it a high priority. If you can't find the time for it anymore, you probably lost your motivation and you need to figure out how to get it back. I can recommend my video about this. I will link to it in the description below. So, when you lose motivation or isn't as passionate when you first started, you'll find excuses for why you can't find the time. But if you had the time then, you certainly have the time now as well. Do the measurement I talked about and free up some time. If you think that you need to have an hour available, if it should be any point in practicing, you will most likely rarely find the time for it. Practice every single day. Every day, even if it's only for 5 minutes. We all have 5 minutes, and just the habit of practicing every day will help you in the right direction. You won't be a very good player with just 5 minutes each day, but the habit will make it easier to increase how much time you are practicing. And if you have a goal to play 30 minutes each day, you don't need to have 30 minutes available in one session. You can split it up and play for 10 minutes 3 times through the day. For example, 10 minutes in the morning, 10 minutes before dinner, and 10 minutes before going to bed. So, some of the important things I do to find the time for practicing is being aware of how time works and creating my theory as explained. I also measure the time, setting a time limit for social media in the settings of my phone, reprioritize practicing no matter how few minutes I have available, and if I procrastinate anything, I practice instead of scrolling Facebook. So that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed this video and that it's valuable for you and can help you to, I hope that you learn more about time and how time works and what you can do to find your time for practicing. Hit the like button for YouTube algorithm and make sure to hit the subscribe button and the little bell beside it to get notified when there's new videos available. And remember to watch the video I talked about earlier in this video, linked in the description below. Thanks for now and